Hello and welcome everyone to Divinity Original Sin 2. It feels really weird to actually be recording a different game. I'm getting like the nervousness I got when I first started recording now. Anyway, most of you I imagine have already at least heard about this game. If not, it's I want to say Dungeons and Dragon like RPG adventure game. Would you count it as an adventure game? I mean, you go adventuring. So yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, I've already created a character because I spent like an hour going through and looking at stuff. I have, just so you know, I have played the game up to a certain point before, which I guess I'll say when we get there, so as not to spoil anything for anyone who doesn't know the story at the start. I haven't played that much into the game. But I've played enough so that I won't suck at it straight away. It's on classic difficulty, which is normal. The game is supposed to be somewhat challenging though, so I may still die and have to reload at some point. Hopefully that won't happen too often. But just be aware, the game isn't meant to be super easy. Okay, this is our character. We are White Raven. We are a witch. I've mostly just left it with the, I've gone for human, I've chose witch for the build preset, and I think I've left it all as standard, and then I've come up with a backstory around it, which I'll kind of go through as we go through the thing. Anyway, appearance, for anyone that's interested in what I picked. We are a witch, which means we have 1 extra point in finesse, 1 extra point in intelligence, and an extra point in constitution. We have a point in scoundrel, necromancer, and persuasion. And our starting skills are raise bloated corpse, chloroform, and mosquito swarm. I thought about changing these, but it really doesn't matter what starting skills we have because all the other starting skills are fairly readily available pretty early into the game. Then again, this is a slow burning game, so pretty early into the game could still be like 5-6 episodes time, if not more. But hey, this is probably going to be a very long playthrough, which I hope I get through all of, because I think the story in this game is very well written, and it's all very well put together. There's a big world around it all. Talents. We have leech, we absorb any blood we stand in, and that heals us, which is, I think, a pretty great thing when you're fighting and stabbing and all stuff like that. Tags, we are outlaw and mystic, and instruments, I've kept with the bansuri. I liked the wind instrument over any of the string ones here. I think it sounds better. It'd be kind of cool if they add more instruments to pick from later, just in like a free patch. I don't know how much extra work that'd be, probably more than I appreciate. Anyway, backstory. Best thing to do, go on to tags. Origins, we have Mystic and Outlaw I've gone for. So our backstory is we were born on the street, had no parents, grew up on our own. Eventually started running with a gang where we were nicknamed Whitey because of our white hair. Later on, during a raid against another gang, we were cut across the eye, and from then on we got the that's where the mystic thing comes from. Cracks in reality lead you to other times and places, some on the void, some of the gods. Your vision is not quite your own, but you can make use of it. After this cut across the eye with, let's say, a magical poison blade, we started seeing things that weren't there, or that others couldn't see, and occasionally maybe hearing some voices. Listening to those voices and seeing those visions, we learned the necromancy skill. And that allowed, and using these new powers, we started to climb the ranks in our gang until eventually becoming the leader. From then we'd gone from Whitey to being known as White Raven, the Raven being a portent of destruction and despair to come, because everywhere we went, bad things happened to our enemies. So that's our backstory. Leading into the intro cinematic, which I will play in a second. During a bad raid, we were captured and put on trial, but for some reason we were taken by the what are they called again? The Magisters, that's the one. We were taken by the Magisters and collared and put on a ship. And that's where the game starts. Done with character creation, yes.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Okay, so that's the intro, and we will now get into the main game once it loads. There aren't that many loading screens in this game, so that shouldn't be much of a problem. Oh no, we're shackled. Let me up. Let me off of... Oh, it glitched. It was glitching through my chest. That couldn't have been pleasant.
So it wasn't a dream after all.
No, it was a dream. Let me go. Let me wake up now. Oh, that eye's cool. I don't know. When I was playing before, I didn't really zoom in like this very much.
Now, where did I leave my calipers?
Okay, so let's have a look around. There's a book here. Anything on the shelf? Some stuff here? Nope, empty. I can see all the books. It's lying to me saying it's empty. Can I get back on the bed?
I don't even remember them strapping me down. I don't even remember them. Not a very chatty fellow, are you?
Ah. But under different circumstances he might be. You never know. A barrel. Nope. Stupid barrel.
Ah, you're up. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Hey, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. Don't make me get rough with you, girl.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
Okay.
You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Put the thing around your neck. Demand know I should collared you. Look around warily and wonder what damnable dungeon you ended up in this time. So you had a long black dream about a ship sailing on a river of dead. Beyond it dead, are you? I think outlaw. What damnable dungeon am I in this time?
Dungeon? You have the gall to call my laboratory a dungeon?
Yes.
Oh, I'd be quite annoyed with you if you didn't look so honestly perplexed.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative.
Now, I hope the volume for the speaking is alright. If it's not, let me know in the comments and I'll try and fix it for next episode. I did fiddle with the volume quite a bit before starting, but it can be different when it's actually uploaded to YouTube. So, for now, I'll let them say each thing, so you've got time to read through what they're saying as well.
Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy.
Fort Joy sounds great.
A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Sure.
Why,
But
for my
what's this
peace
collar
of mind,
thing?
of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
Sure.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
That's kind of depressing. What have you done to my magic?
My,
Take this collar off me
look at
now,
the
I demand it.
concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source.
No one neuters the Raven.
For your
I'll
own
neuter
peace
you.
of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
God damn it. I'm a slave. You've got me locked up and collared. Guess I better go see this William and find some shoes.
Good
Ooh, blood.
gods. There's been a murder here.
Yo, mate.
Behind
What
the
happened?
Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Just have a look inside and be like, oi, mate. What's going on here?
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them.
No, I'm usually a suspect, so it's good not to be this time.
Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
So this sort of thing happens often?
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man.
So what you, the guy with the sword, is saying is that we're dangerous. Like, anyone with a sword can kill someone, mate. You don't need magic powers to do it.
Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Anything to trade? Ooh, he does. Oh yeah, I need to read that tome. I'm going to read all the books I found out loud. Just, I want to make this as immersive as possible. You're going to be super immersed by the time we finish this playthrough. What do you
The
say?
young Magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
You scared of me? Ha, you should be. I'm the White Raven. Ooh, 2 gold, I'll take it. Nope. Nope. No shoes. Where are the shoes? I don't like walking around barefoot.
Ugly sight, isn't it?
Yes, you are.
Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Well, maybe somebody just stabbed him in the face. Maybe they didn't use magic. Just so you know, you weren't his
Finn
protector,
didn't
you were
see
his
it like
captor.
that. He was desperate for us to help him. 2 things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship.
Unlike yourself.
Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Maybe I can.
Not with that collar on you, Aunt.
No. Good point.
Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform.
Can I have a uniform?
Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Well, considering I was the leader of a gang, it was me that did this kind of thing. I don't work for such lowly amounts.
Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Dum dum dum. There's been a murder. Anyway, we have a book. Small tome, read. We have too long presumed source as a virtuous part of civil society. Yet we need look no further into the past than the Source King's reign to understand the havoc such magics may wreak. One day, another order must follow in the Source Hunter's footsteps. Sorcerers must be muted. The new model of source collars provided by Verediman is proving most effective. Okay, we also have healing potion, resurrection scroll, an empty backpack, a poison flask, we have the book we found, and 2 gold. What's this? Oh, it's a poetry book. Did this guy like poetry? Let's go sit down and read some poetry, shall we?
No lesions, no trauma.
A woman from Driftwood with nary a care offered me kisses that answered my prayer. I accepted her gift, and then to my dismay, a spider she was, and I her buffet. Once feasting was over, she licked her red lips. I rose from the floor, still coming to grips. She thanked me for coming and bade her farewell. My prayer indeed answered, though still I did swell. Great book. Great book. 10 out of 10. Okay, next room. Let's have a look around. Oi, can I turn you into some boots? No, apparently not. What about these bags? Give me some shoes. Somewhere... Oh, bedroll. I'm gonna take this. Bedrolls are good because bedrolls fully heal you. Just want to stick a bit of a hit. There we go. Right, let's just move these things. Ah, no! No! Oh, crap. I accidentally drank my healing potion. Oh, well. So we don't have a healing potion this game. We're going hardcore mode. We don't need no healing. Nope. Where's all the loot? Oh, this chest. Nope. Come on, give me some loot. Trousers, stained pants, plus 0.1 movement and 1 armor. I'll take some stained pants. Quit. Boom. Oh, we're rocking the good stuff now. Look at that. I'm gonna be around, the guards are gonna be like, hey you, where'd you get those pants? You're the most fashionable person here. See what the guard thinks. I'm the White Raven.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy. We're trying to catch a killer here.
Oh, right. I'll leave you to it. What's the dog got to say? Bark. Okay, dog's not interested. Hey you seen any shoes?
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Hey, I'm a witch. I don't cackle.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
What the hell are you doing?
Rolling dice.
Well, duh.
Deciding fates.
Can you read the future in cow entrails as
She
well?
eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see.
Dirty
I'm
elf.
quite good at it too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
You want to lick my arm? No, go away.
She chuckles once more.
That red-cheeked refusal tells me more than licking you would.
Sure.
But
If you
suit
say
yourself, darling.
Whose
Don't
fate
worry,
are you
honey.
deciding?
It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Never.
It was one of them. I know it. Would you have put
Hey, the search for shoes continues. What about this box? Nope. Greasy key. Opens this door. In we go. A journal. Ah, a knife. Excellent. That's what we need. Now we can get out of here. Cause a coup. All the food and poison is mine. Garlic. More garlic. Ooh, a pumpkin. Restoration scroll. Excellent. What's this? Recipes learned. Excellent. They're all mashed potato recipes, just in case anyone's wondering. Okay. Read the journal. This tome contains no text. Instead, sketches of dragons fill every page. The artist is hardly talented, but clearly enthusiastic. I reckon it's this guy over here. See this red lizard here? I reckon he's the one drawing dragons. He wishes he was a real dragon, but knows he can never be one, so he spends all his time drawing dragons instead. Anyway, let's equip the knife. And looking good. Does none of the guards notice if you have a knife equipped?
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
Move closer, but clench your fists in case things go south.
And adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Thanks, mate.
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
So...
We used to know
what'd you do?
More's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
So how did you end up here?
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
So, did you kill the guy? Are you just gonna outright tell me?
No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
Ah, but you would kill. So if I can find proof you have reason, you've basically just confessed.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
So, you know something about Fort Joy?
The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself.
See, I'd like to meet Alexander, show him exactly what you think of his bloody divine order. Well, in my backstory, they did just save me from execution by bringing me here instead, so it's not too bad. One acquaintance you're not eager to make, say you're not interested in Alexander, or you care about his surviving Fort Joy. Yeah, we just want to get out.
Interested in the son of the divine himself. I don't blame you one bit. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You! What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
I'm the White Raven. Remember it.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips, as he leans back against the wall.
Okay. So we've met some interesting fellows up there. What's down here? Anything good? Anything to loot? Some more bedrolls. I can take the bedrolls and sell them later. Bucket, it's not worth it.
I'm trying to concentrate.
Beer.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
Oi, Gil.
I'll give you
You're
that.
one of them. A divine order loyal. They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
Ah, so you're saying they did it. Beast, you have an interesting
A
name.
broad
I like
dwarf
your
sits
hat.
totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
You sound kind of fancy.
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
He's also not looking at me.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
You dare call me boy?
He opens both eyes and turns his head toward you, looking you up and down. He smiles and closes his eyes once more.
You look like a boy to me. Listen if you're interested, or get gone if you aren't.
What am I meant to be hearing?
The ship, of course.
You sound like an idiot. Do you know anything about the murder?
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Murder? Ah, that's what they were going on and on about. I wouldn't know anything about it. I kill a man. He knows who done it. His daddy knows who done it. And the mayor knows who done it too.
So you make a really bad assassin.
His eyes flutter shut, and he assumes his position of repose once more.
Whether they catch me is another matter, but I ain't one to hide my accomplishments.
Yeah, I don't really care much about the ship, so I'm just gonna leave you. Blue Lizard.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Ooh, I might have to steal some of that.
Got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets
Some
here,
money.
we'll hand you right over the
Nope.
side of this ship with it.
Nope. Alright, Red Boy.
Well, well, what have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I'm not answering your stupid questions.
Goodness gracious me, what a bore. Off with you. Quite clearly, you wouldn't have done at all. Shoo. How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of
Gold.
pigs.
Oi, what's going on?
Ah, there you are.
Right, sexy.
Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loser woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Sure, let's play along.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Yeah. I think we can keep ourselves very entertained, if you know what I mean.
You presume right.
Do you want to come round with me?
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it.
Hey, the White Raven ain't too soft for anything.
You take care, though.
Anything about the murder?
Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Useless.
Her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer.
Well, kind of glad she isn't coming with me now.
As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
What a weird woman. You know what they say? The crazier the better. Anyway, kids.
You're a human, like me. That means we're friends already. My mum told me not to make friends with lizards and elves and dwarves and stuff. But I think they're okay.
Nah, they're all lying, cheating, other words.
A no doesn't become a yes over time.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen. La 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 la.
You're awful.
You look like my daddy. His name is Frida. He's waiting for me at home.
Girl, you're way too young for me to be your daddy. Come back in 10 years. Hello, Fane.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
You're a weirdo, aren't you?
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Ruffle his hair.
Hmm? What purpose did that serve? Was that a greeting? Was it... Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. How... difficult. You have my apologies, human. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
What, that you ruffle their hair? Who is this guy?
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough.
No, I don't like people keeping secrets from me, Fane. Tell me where you're from.
It is pleasurable to meet you.
Well, that was clearly sarcasm. What's he seeking?
Is there? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle.
Then you need to try harder. Go back to school.
Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
War between Divine Order and Black Ring. It dwarfs everything that went before. History of Rivellon is the history of the Divine Order. Talk about Lucy and the Divinist and Alexander. Mystic. Explain that Rivellon's history is the battle between Source and the Void, good and evil, light and darkness. Let's go with that one.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already.
No. If you say so. I'm kind of disappointed in you now.
No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods.
That's kind of what I was talking about.
This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before.
What came before the gods? Blasphemy.
Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
The gods don't have others of their kind. They're all powerful and stuff. You have often pondered the nature of the gods, but you don't have any short answers.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else?
Because you're a weird elf guy.
Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Why are you so curious?
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Magister Pady, hello.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger.
Ah, you seem more friendly.
You faring okay so far?
Would you be fine, collared like a dog, stuck in a ship's hold with a corpse and a murderer on the loose?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir, but we all wear what we wear for a reason.
How about I swap my collar for your uniform?
You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Okay, Williams. Let's get this sorted. I want to go to sleep.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
She's level 5, guys. Run away. You're all level 1. You don't have a chance.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
The murderer.
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
Only the beginning? The beginning of what?
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Me? Why would you want to kill me? You seem much too important.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
This is a perfect opportunity to create a mutiny. Tell the woman you'll help her.
No, I'm afraid I always perform my part solo. Do stay and watch, though, because...
It's much better to do things in pairs, woman, trust me.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
Wow, that was a poor collar.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Oh no. Fight. I'm gonna beat her up. I'll save everyone. And then I'll make you all my servants. Oh no, maybe not. That doesn't look good. And with that, guys, we're going to end it there. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for some more Divinity Original Sin 2. In the meantime, have a good day, and bye-bye.